When it comes to grenades in Apex Legends, there are some tricks to use them that will benefit you, your team, and possibly give you the win in a game. This video demonstrates multiple grenade techniques along with when and how you should use them. Speaking of using things, a message from our sponsor on how you should use honey. Just kidding, I'm too small to be sponsored, but if you'd like to support me for free, the best way to do so is subscribing and liking the video. We're really close to 3,000 subscribers. Also, if you'd like, you can check out my playlist for improving your overall game style in Apex Legends. Card on screen with the link down below. Before we start with any grenades, I'd just like to state, if you haven't heard or noticed anything already, that grenades have been somewhat nerfed in the sense that they can no longer be carried in stacks of 2. This is to reduce grenade spam in the game, which was needed, and even though Watson is a counter to this, she shouldn't be required by every team to stop an ongoing problem in the game according to the developers. Let's start with the thermite grenade. Its properties are what the name entails. After being thrown, a layer of fire or thermite is ignited upon impact, burning victims inside. The ignition time is immediate once it hits the ground, and it also deals a ticking damage over time, meaning if you touch the fiery line for even a millisecond, you will lose 25 HP. If you stay in it too long, it tends to deal even more damage at a faster tick rate and can be extremely lethal if caught in it too long. When the grenade hits the ground, it's quite interesting as it displays a line of fire perpendicular to the direction you threw it. This means that as long as you are throwing this grenade, it will always leave a wall of fire in front of you. It can also be thrown roughly 60 meters, and it has an on-screen grenade trajectory line that you can use for precise placement. As thermites burn in a linear horizontal line perpendicular to the direction you threw it initially, they can be used in a multitude of ways. In addition to blocking off a path, let's say a room, you can have the thermite burn farther into that room by turning your body on an angle or perpendicular to the doorway and throw the grenade at the base of it. This will push that line of fire into the room, but when the door of a building is also broken off, it's best to throw the grenade straight into the room as if you were just square with the doorway to maximize a horizontal spread of the thermite grenade. An effective way to use this grenade is also on knocked players. As you move extremely slow when knocked down, it will most likely burn a knocked opponent to death quickly with ease. And a bonus to this is that the thermite grenade completely ignores knockdown shields, making it the most reliable for killing down opponents. The thermite grenade can be used to seal off an enclosed area like a doorway or tunnel, keeping enemies from pushing your position. It also works great as a mild deterrent to break the enemy's LOS or line of sight, as the fire is as tall as some legends, and when you're within a close distance of the fire, it's extremely difficult to see through it. This gives you the opportunity to blind your enemy, stand further back, and be able to shoot them while they can't see you. The digital threat optic also allows you to see a perfect red silhouette of the enemy through the fiery madness, so keep that in mind just in case the enemy team has one, because I'm sure you'll be yelling he's a hacker as you're being pumped full of lead through a hellish wall of fire. Speaking of burning, if an enemy is right up against a door, you can actually throw the thermite right at the base of that door and it will damage the person on the other side. But with this comes the fire melting the door and completely breaking it, and you need to make the call whether that is helpful or harmful in your current situation. But it does make the enemy weaker, giving you a chance to push in the building with an upper hand to kill the opponent faster. One last thing about the thermite grenade is that they also bounce off of everything but the ground, and this also includes enemies and friendly teammates, so be careful with their placement. The second grenade type we have in the game is the Arkstar. With a 2.8 second ignition time, it looks like a shuriken. It also looks painful, but it is very viable in most situations. Arkstars are capable of sticking to surfaces, including enemy players, which will deal an additional 90 damage if someone is at 200 HP, or 30 damage if someone is 100 HP or below, all on top of the 70 it deals upon exploding with arc energy. When someone is struck by this Arkstar or hit by the explosion, it slows them for 5 seconds, making enemies an easy target to pump full of lead as they try to get to cover. Because Arkstar cannot deal 100 damage, it is not useful against downed opponents. The best use cases for Arkstars are against live standing players. Their movement, including that of their turning speed and walking speed, is hindered greatly, and even if they aren't hit for the full 70 damage by the Arkstar, it still gives you an upper hand to push the enemy team and deals much damage as possible, and possibly even squad wiping them while they can barely move. After a series of multiple complaints by professional teams back in December of 2019, Arkstars are no longer capable of sticking to friendly players. Before the patch, this made a great tactic, especially in high-end plays, as you could just stick a friendly player with one, have that player push an enemy team, get up in their face as it explodes, be completely unaffected by the grenade, while the enemy team takes 70 damage and is completely slowed, and before you know it, they're dead, as you and your other teammate are already laying a blanket of bullets on top of them while all of this is going on. Also, Arkstars cannot stick to Gibraltar's gun shield. In fact, they actually bounce off of it completely. Another secret feature to Gibby that not many actually know of that makes him even more powerful than you already thought. Some really good tactics with the Arkstar is to use it on fleeing subjects to slow them down so you are able to catch up to them. Since this is the one grenade type that you can actually throw the farthest at approximately 100 meters in the game, it only makes sense that it would be super effective for doing this. It also works great when you're far away and want to deal damage in a fight you are third partying. Arkstars are the way to go since their timer does not start the second it leaves your hand. It actually starts to count down to explosion the second it sticks to a surface. You can also use it as an escape tactic as someone is breaking a door. You can back up and stick them with it as they break through, or throw it at the ground and run as they break through. Another way, which takes a bit of skill and luck, is throwing it in the air as you're running away and are being chased, so you time the grenade to explode as they come near it as it lands. The last throwable we have is the actual frag grenade itself. It can deal up to 100 explosive damage and can be thrown roughly 70 meters from standstill. Frags are great for mid-fight arrangements as it has a fairly large radius and can cause a temporary concussion effect. The grenade itself can also deal 10 damage if you hit someone directly with it, but that's just the game giving you brownie points for such great aim. Its ignition time is 4 seconds, which can make for some great fun and party tricks. My favorite thing to do with the frag grenade in this game is airbursting them. This means that you throw the grenade at a height so as it falls, it explodes in the air at the height of an enemy or just above them. The reason I love it is because there's no way for the enemy to avoid this unless they see the grenade in the first place, but there will be no indicator other than death, and it's an easy 100 damage. The hard part is lining things up correctly, as it will be some getting used to, but it's like riding a bike. Once you learn it, you can't forget how to do it. This trick is very effective when you are low ground and an enemy team is above you on a hill or building. Throwing grenades straight up and slightly angled towards them gives an amazing opportunity to make the grenade explode right in their faces. This will also give you a break as they'll be healing while you push up to demolish them, but be aware if you screw up that angle, it may come down on your head instead. It can also be used as a fleeing tactic to throw at the ground as someone is breaking a door and you are being chased, or by bouncing it off a wall as you turn a corner. Even if someone is right on top of you, your stalkers will be scared of that indicator and back off most of the time. Sometimes you just have to hope for the best. Speaking of which, grenades are the most useful when throwing inside a building because a thermite grenade can be cut off by walls, and an Arkstar doesn't deal as much damage, and it also has a smaller radius. And slowing someone down inside a building won't be all that helpful since they don't have anywhere to go in the first place. So maximizing damage is the best way to go in most cases, but that doesn't make the Arkstar or thermite variants useless in these types of situations. Just watch out for rolling grenades, especially your own, as gravity tends to pull them down a slope, including stairs. So that's every grenade in the game as of now at least, and I hope that you also have a better understanding of how each grenade type works and how to use them effectively in Apex Legends. Thank you all so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like, a comment down below with your grenade tips and tricks. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and help us hit 3,000 subscribers for more awesome videos just like this. Because I've been Innocent Gamer, I'll see you all next time. Peace!